In this video I'm going to show you how to make this simple wire bow pendant. I've added chain and a little pearl on the end, but you can obviously add whatever you want to that. So I'm going to show you how to make the bow. To do that we need some wire. So I've used a 1mm wire, and for that size of bow I've got approximately 10 centimeters just there. Okay, so what we're going to do to start off, we're going to pop some pliers in the middle. Now I've got some fine flat nose pliers, but you could use a round nose plier if that's what you've got. We just want to create a little space within this V that we're going to create. So I'm going to just bend both sides up, and you see we've got a V shape, but we've also got a little flat little section just there, and we need that later to add in the chain drop. So I'm using some square nose pliers, flat nose pliers, to make the actual bow shape. So I'm going to pop the pliers in just there where the V starts to go up, and we're going to bend that back. I'm going to pop it in the other side and do exactly the same. So we've now got sort of an M shape. Okay, so I'm going to pop these back in to just where we've made that bend, and I'm going to bend that around. And while I'm doing that, I'm just going to literally bring that round just so we've got a nice flat edge here. I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to continue that around so it's almost in line with the other side of the bow. Then I'm going to pop my pliers back in there, and we're going to bend that back. So now we've got the one side of the bow made. So we're just going to repeat that. So pop the pliers in there, bend that around, keep going until you've got an even shape. And again, that wire is in line with this side of the bow. Pliers back in. If you need a bit more space, just bring that out. The pliers to go back in there, and we're going to bring that wire around. So now we've got our bow shape. Okay, I'm literally just going to bring those around a little bit more just to create the space in the middle. There we go. So now what we need to do, we need to add a chain with the drop of the pearl. So I've got that just there. And then for the necklace itself, the chain itself, I've got a chain, a finished chain that I've simply just cut in the middle. So we're going to add both of these to either side of the bow. So first of all, we'll add in the drop. So we're literally just going to pop that onto either side. It doesn't really matter. And we're just going to feed that around, all the way around, until it goes to the middle section. So you see that will sit nicely in that middle section. And then on either side, we're going to add that on one side, and again feed that around. You might have to just open that bow up a bit to get that in. And then on the other side, we're going to add the other side of the chain, and again feed that round there. So now we've got our chain at the top, and we've got our little drop section which won't stay in place until we've finished. Right, so now what we need to do is secure everything in place. So just keeping this chain out of the way, take your pliers, some flat nose pliers, and pop them just across the bow section there. Okay, and then get the pearl chain out of the way there, and just bend that over on that side, and then we're going to turn that over, pop the pliers back in there, and just continue that round there. Okay, so now you can see that's wrapped all the way around, and we've got that first section finished. So now I'm going to turn it around just because it's easier for me to work in the same direction. Pliers go in across the bow section again. And what we're going to do this time again is just bring that around. If your chain section seems to be in the way there, just try and maneuver it out of the way while you do this little bit. I promise you it'll be fine when it's done there. So now we've got those both sections around and back to the front. So now if we hold that, we'll see we've got our two chain sections here and our little drop just there. That is actually just sticking up slightly, so I'm just going to take some pliers, Make sure these chains are out of the way because you don't want to crush them. Just give it a little squeeze just to flatten that down. And now what we need to do, we need to kink out these little ribbon sections of the wire. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to literally pop in my pliers there, hold everything here, and just pull that out. So you get like a little nice natural curve just there. Actually, I'll turn that over and do it again in that same direction, just because it's easier for me to do that. There. You may need to just shape that a little bit with your fingers at that point. So now we've got our bow section. So now we need to decide how long we want them. So I just want sort of that sort of length. So we've got one, cut one off there and cut the other one off just there. And again, we can bring in our pliers, pop them right in at the end and just give that a little kink out. Do the other side, right at the end, little kink out. And there's your pendant. So you've got a little bow pendant with a nice chain drop at the front. And it really is a very pretty, simple, easy way to make a pendant.